Welcome, my friends. Today's news is that the first big pharmaceutical company has filed for bankruptcy as a result of the ongoing opioid epidemic. Mallinkrodt will file for Chapter 11 bankruptcy, again, and leave $1 billion of $1.7 billion opioid settlement unpaid. What does this mean for other big pharma companies? What does it mean for the economy? And, what does it mean for the future of the United States? But, before we get into all of that, please press the like button and leave us a comment below. We would love to hear from you. Please subscribe and hit the bell icon so that you are notified of upcoming videos when they are released. And, before we continue, a word from the sponsor of this video. Today's sponsor is ProWorldNet.com. ProWorldNet.com is a job website specifically dedicated to licensed professions. Doctors, including any type of specialty. Nurses, and that includes all grades of nurses. Lawyers, regardless of area of legal focus. Teachers and professors, from kindergarten through graduate school. As well as any kind of job that requires a government license or certification. And ProWorld.net also includes short-term gig-type jobs as well. So, be sure to check out ProWorldNet.com if you are looking for a job or an employee. Mallinkrodt plc said Wednesday it will file for Chapter 11 bankruptcy protection in the coming days, its second such filing in 3 years, after reaching a deal with most of its lenders. The Dublin-based drugmaker filed for Chapter 11 in 2020, a process that only emerged from last year, as it struggled with a $1 billion settlement for its role in the opioid crisis. Mallinkrodt is one of the biggest manufacturers of opioids in the U.S. Last year, the company struck a $1.7 billion settlement to resolve the thousands of lawsuits related to opioid addiction. The company has been in talks with hedge funds in an effort to reduce that settlement by $1 billion in return for control of the company, as the Wall Street Journal has reported. On Wednesday, the company said it has entered a restructuring support agreement with most of its first and second lien debt holders and the Opioid Master Disbursement Trust II on the terms of a restructuring that will see it reduce its debt by about $1.9 billion. The agreement includes a final payment of $250 million to the trust, on top of the $450 million already paid, to support its work on the opioid crisis and to fund addiction recovery programs. That leaves $1 billion of the settlement unpaid. The company will file for a prepackaged Chapter 11 bankruptcy in the U.S. Bankruptcy Court for the District of Delaware in the coming days. Due to the overwhelming support of its key stakeholders, the company expects to complete the contemplated prepackaged Chapter 11 process in the fourth quarter of 2023, the company said in a statement. It will continue to deliver therapies to patients and pay staff and vendors. All of the company's outstanding ordinary shares are expected to be extinguished once the plan is consummated. Mallinkrodt's non-opioid products include Acthar Gel, a treatment for rheumatoid arthritis, and Inomax nitric oxide gas, which is used to treat respiratory failure in newborns. In the second quarter, the company had a loss of $747.8 million, compared with a loss of $193.5 million posted in the year earlier period. Sales rose 1.3% to $475 million. For those of you not familiar, Mallinkrodt Pharmaceuticals is a global pharmaceutical company that has a long and complex history dating back to the 19th century. The company has undergone various transformations, acquisitions, and divestitures over the years. Here's a brief overview of Mallinkrodt's history. Mallinkrodt was founded in 1867 by Gustav Mallinkrodt in St. Louis, Missouri, USA. The company initially focused on manufacturing chemicals and pharmaceuticals. In its early years, Mallinkrodt was known for producing chemicals used in the photography and medical industries, as well as medications and diagnostic products. During the 20th century, Mallinkrodt expanded its operations and diversified its product offerings. The company ventured into various areas of healthcare, including pharmaceuticals, medical devices, and imaging products. It became a significant player in the development and manufacturing of generic and branded pharmaceuticals. Mallinkrodt played a pivotal role in the development and commercialization of radiopharmaceuticals, which are radioactive substances used in medical imaging and diagnostics. The company's expertise in this field led to the production of technetium-99m generators, a critical component in nuclear medicine imaging procedures. Over the years, Mallinkrodt acquired and divested various businesses and product lines to adapt to changing market conditions. In 2013, Mallinkrodt was spun off from its parent company, Covidien, as an independent entity. In 2014, it acquired Cadence Pharmaceuticals, a move that strengthened its portfolio in pain management medications. In recent years, Mallinkrodt faced challenges related to its involvement in the opioid crisis in the United States. The company manufactured opioid pain medications and faced legal and public scrutiny for its role in the opioid epidemic. This led to legal settlements and a heightened focus on responsible pharmaceutical practices. In 2020, Mallinkrodt filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy as part of a comprehensive restructuring plan aimed at addressing its financial challenges and legal liabilities related to the opioid crisis. This bankruptcy filing was one of the largest in relation to the opioid epidemic. It's important to note that Mallinkrot's history is marked by both positive contributions to healthcare and challenging controversies. The company's trajectory reflects the evolution of the pharmaceutical industry and its responses to various societal and market demands. For those of you not familiar, the opioid crisis refers to a widespread public health emergency that involves the misuse, addiction, and overdose of opioid drugs. Opioids are a class of drugs that include both prescription painkillers, such as oxycodone, hydrocodone, and morphine, as well as illicit drugs like heroin and synthetic opioids like fentanyl. The crisis has had devastating social, economic, and medical consequences, particularly in the United States. In the late 1990s and early 2000s, there was a significant increase in the prescription of opioid pain medications for the management of chronic pain. These drugs were marketed as safe and non-addictive, leading to a surge in their use. Pharmaceutical companies, in their efforts to promote opioid medications, downplayed the risks of addiction and exaggerated their benefits. This contributed to the widespread acceptance of opioids as a solution for various types of pain. As opioid prescriptions became more common, a substantial number of patients developed dependencies and addictions. This led to an increase in opioid-related overdoses and deaths. As prescription opioid misuse became a concern, individuals who were already addicted turned to illicit alternatives like heroin. Heroin is often cheaper and easier to obtain than prescription opioids. Additionally, the market saw the emergence of synthetic opioids like fentanyl, which are even more potent and dangerous. In response to the crisis, many states implemented prescription drug monitoring programs to track and control the prescribing and dispensing of controlled substances. These programs aim to prevent doctor shopping and multiple prescriptions from different healthcare providers. Increased awareness of the crisis led to efforts to limit the availability of prescription opioids. This included changes in prescribing guidelines, stricter regulations, and educational initiatives for healthcare providers. Pharmaceutical companies faced legal action for their role in the crisis. Some companies were accused of deceptive marketing practices and were required to pay fines and settlements to address the public health consequences. The opioid crisis prompted a comprehensive public health response, including the distribution of naloxone, Narcan, a medication that can reverse opioid overdoses. Harm reduction initiatives, addiction treatment programs, and increased access to mental health services have also been crucial components of the response. The opioid crisis remains a significant ongoing challenge in many countries, including the United States. It underscores the importance of responsible prescribing practices, comprehensive addiction treatment, mental health support, and public education about the risks associated with opioid use. But, what do you think? Please leave us a comment below and hit the like button. We would love to hear from you. Please subscribe and hit the bell icon so that you are notified of upcoming videos when they are released. Please share this video on social media. Thank you for watching.